All right, so tonight I want to talk to you guys about your story and how to, craft posts from that, and then how to invite. So I've learned a lot of different techniques, I guess, or mistakes, I guess, if you want to say, since I've started. And I'm not perfect by no means, but I've been learning little tidbits on how to share your story and how that actually opens up to make a natural invite. So you don't have to feel icky about, you know, here, buy this from me. I never wanted to be one of those coaches. And that's honestly why I said no to the coaching opportunity for so long. I'm just going to mute you there so it's not noisy on the static. So, so I'm going to want to kind of go through and show how to share your story. We've been kind of working on Avatar in our other training group. And when I first started, I thought Avatar was like some sort of like video game thing, honestly. But learning who you're speaking to is really going to help you with your story, but also I think you kind of need to know both of them at the same time. So yes, we're working on that over there, but also I want you to think about your story. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Yay, I did it.
Yay.
So sharing your story, and I know this is the scary part about it, is opening up and being vulnerable to people, whether they're family and friends and they know us and maybe they don't know everything about us, or if they're complete strangers and they don't know you don't know them from anywhere, right? So sharing your story is going to make that connection with them where they're going to feel like they know you and they like you and they trust you, because once they meet all those qualifications, it's going to be so much easier for when you invite them to join a challenge group or to learn about coaching. They're more willing to say yes because they know who you are and they trust you. So what is your story? Oops. So your story is really like, where did you come from? How did you get to where you are now? How did you join a challenge group yourself? How did you say yes to coaching? Things like that. So where were you? What was that place in your life when you decided, you know what, I need to make a change. I can't keep going down this path. I really want you to think about that. And so we're going to do an exercise after this video during the week. I really want us to start doing interviews. And the reason because of that is because you're going to be, when you're talking to someone about your story, you're less likely to leave things out and overthink it. You're just talking with a conversation with someone else. And I did an exercise like this, and it really was eye-opening to think some of the things that developed who I am, I wasn't sharing because they didn't just come up. I didn't just think of them unless someone was interviewed. So kind of think of, let me see if I can move these down. There. Like physically, emotionally, where were you before you started? And then have you struggled physically, emotionally, or financially? Like what have you struggled with? What, maybe it started as a kid. Like for me, I was always that overweight kid. I did cheerleading and I had muscles, so I felt like I could weigh more in a sense, but having those insecurities, they may have not just started in your adult life. And so that's part of your story to think about. What are your identification factors? So these are things that, maybe you always made fun of as a child, or you struggle with, looking in the mirror and feeling confident, or whatever it is that you struggle with. These are going to be challenges and breakthroughs that you want to connect with your tribe, and you want to help them overcome, because these are the same things that you struggle with or you did struggle with and you've been able to overcome them. These are going to be great posts that you're going to want to use too, whether it's a live video or whether it's a picture post, whatever you use. When you post them, you want to start with a question. Have you ever felt like this, or are you going through this, something like that, and then share how you have overcome that struggle, what you're doing now, and where you're going, because people love to connect with someone who is changing their life and going somewhere, right? Nobody wants to be like, oh yeah, we're just all, going to be overweight the rest of our life or be struggling financially. nobody wants to be in that camp, right? They want to be in the camp where they're celebrating and, good things are happening. So how can you use your problems or struggles to emotionally connect with people? Because trust me, that emotional connection is what is going to get people messaging you and saying, you know what, I want to join you. I want to do what you're doing. Tell me more. What do you, how are you doing this? How are you getting out of that, depression spot or anxiety or, struggling to pay for groceries? Because that for me, well, that was an emotional thing, standing in line at the grocery store and having to put groceries back and all these people are watching you. And it was, pretty emotional. So being able to like tug at those, heartstrings of people, that is going to help you with those connections. So those are going to be your identification factors. So think about some of those, like, what are the things that you've overcome? What are things that your tribe, what they may be struggling with? Because we're all different and we're all going to have a different tribe. We may overlap somewhat because we're on this team together, but there's going to be, your story is going to speak to just your people, if that makes sense. So know your why. So I really want you to know why you're doing this. Why did you say yes to a challenge group? Why did you decide to, now is the time to change your health and fitness? Why are you passionate about, helping other people to do this? What has it done for you? How has it changed your life, your family's life, things like that, your job, the way you think about yourself? Why is it important? And then why don't you think of why did you become a coach? This one here is both of these. If you know your why, I promise you, those days that people are like, no, we don't want to join you. This is, whether they say it's a scam or, I've heard all kinds of things. You're not going to be crushed as easily, I guess. The thing that I really had to learn was to not take it personal when people said no. And the reason is because I knew my why. I knew why I was doing this when I started in my challenge as a challenger myself, and people are like, why are you posting these pictures of yourself, with your belly hanging out? Why are you posting these on Facebook? Like, aren't you embarrassed? Yeah, it was somewhat embarrassing, but those pictures were able to speak to someone for them to start, if that makes sense. There was a why behind it. Like, I knew that I had to do this for my kids, for my family, things like that. The same as becoming a coach. Yeah, I'm on Facebook a lot, but it's my job now. And you know why you do it. You know why you are inviting people. Because maybe you want to get out of debt. Maybe you want that freedom to be able to travel and do things with your family. Whatever it is for you, I want you to really, hone in on why you want to do this. Because then when those people, those naysayers are going to come, because I'll be honest, they will come. You won't be like, your heart won't be hurt, right? Because you know where you stand and where you're rooted. The other thing I want to touch on really quick is that when people say no, most often that's not like a no forever. That just means they're not ready. Maybe they need more information, or maybe they're not in that spot where they're like, you know what, I need to make a change now. So honestly, everyone needs to come to that own epiphany, if you will, of their own, where they're like, you know what, I can't continue my life like this. I need to make a change. And so if you keep showing up and no matter what, you're doing your thing, people are going to remember that and they're going to come back to that. So, and then connect daily. So, whether your like page is small or large, or you have a lot of friends on your profile page, it doesn't matter. What I want you to focus on is connecting with people daily. And that is going to come from, just reaching out to, a friend from high school you haven't talked to in forever. And I don't want your initial like ice-breaking conversation to be about, hey, guess what? I'm a coach, join what I'm doing. Because nobody wants to be sold, right? I don't know about you, but I've been added to a lot of Facebook groups where it's like the legging company or the makeup stuff, because they just want you to buy stuff. They never took a chance to get to know me first, see if it's something that I really even needed in my life. So when you connect with them, ask them how they're doing. How is their summer going? Is school starting? How are their kids doing? Things like that. Look at their profile and see what pictures they've been posting. So that's something that you can connect with. And if it's someone who is on your like page, so what I do, my page has grown now, but when it was little, still I would comment on everybody who made a comment on my posts, comment back to them and send them a message, because that shows that you value them showing up and connecting on your page. And we want, the more that you do that, the more Facebook is going to reward you and send out your posts to other people. find out more about them. Like I said, ask, how was their weekend? Like forming, what's their family like? What do they do for a job? What do they like to do for recreation? Because we want to get to know them. Like, do they have a struggle that we can help them with? I mean, I believe, yes, we can help everyone, but are they identifying a struggle in their life that we need to help them with? Maybe it's someone who has no energy. Well, guess what? You start eating healthier, drinking your Shakeology, exercising, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. Maybe it's someone who struggles with knowing how to make, healthy meals or knowing what to eat. Then the meal plans, like the Portion Fix, it'll be great for them. Maybe there's someone who hates going to the gym, does not want people to see them working out in public. Awesome, right? Beachbody on Demand. They could do their workouts at home in the privacy of their own home, whenever they want. Maybe there's someone who is struggling. They really want to get started, but they're like, what? I just don't have the money for this. There's so many other things going on right now, school starting up and sports and all these things. So they can't afford it. Well, guess what? They can decide to get healthy, start their journey and become a coach at the same time and share that and help them to get out of their financial crisis. So that's why it's really important to ask questions. You want to ask more questions when you're connecting with them than telling them things. I made this huge mistake in the beginning of just like spewing information at people, like, tell them all about the workouts, telling them, this is the price, this is this and this and this. And I didn't really take the time to connect with them and see if this is something that they either wanted or they needed in their life. So once you can identify with that and you know why they want to join you, then when they come back and they're saying, well, I can't really afford it. And you're like, well, you said you wanted to do this. What has changed? You can kind of put it back in their plate because they've already told you that they need to get healthy because they have, such and such coming up, or, maybe their blood pressure is through the roof and they need to make a change. So you have that documented. That's why questions are so important. Another thing is, a lot of people are like, well, I go to the gym. And that's great to go to the gym because I love the gym. I just don't go there anymore because it doesn't work with our schedule. But, ask them the questions like, what results are they getting? Does, the gym owner or the person at the front desk, do they check in with them every day? Because in our groups, we check in and we help with different things that, at a gym they wouldn't do. Even as a personal trainer, they're not going to, be there all the time and, send messages and things like that. So I think the community is so important with what we do compared to what other things do. So share with them as if they were your best friend. Now, how would you tell someone that is close to you about what we do without all of the knowing all the ingredients about Shakeology and knowing everything about all the workouts? Because you don't need to know all that. I mean, yes, it's good to have a foundation in it, and there's like the Shakeology podcast that you can listen to and get more information on that. But knowing what has it done for you, that is what people are going to connect with how has it changed you? They don't really care about, X, Y, and Z ingredients. I mean, maybe some of people want to know what's in there, but they really want to know what has it done for you, so what can it do for them? That's why it's so important to be a product of the product, which is one of our vital behaviors. And then this is the thing that it took me a long time to grasp, is that we don't sell people. We tell them. We tell stories. We tell how it's changed our life. We tell how, so-and-so lost 100 pounds or 50 pounds, or how you're able to, not be full of aches and pains in the morning, or be able to get up in the morning and do a workout, things like that. How is this opportunity, being a coach, being a challenger, how has it changed your life for the better? And then, we're just sharing something that we love. A lot of people are like, well, I can't do what you do because I'm not a salesperson. Neither am I, okay? Thank goodness, right? So you share with them something that you love. So for an example for me is that here we have King Soopers as our grocery store, and they do this click list where I can order my groceries online, and then I pick a time and I go pick them up. They load up my groceries for me and done. Bam. Super awesome thing. I tell everybody about it. I don't get paid for it, right? The only difference with being a coach and sharing what we love about, our workouts that are portable, we can do 22 minutes or, longer workouts. You can do weight training or cardio or yoga or whatever it is. You just share with that same love, that same passion, that same enthusiasm. If, you found something that you really love at the store and you want to share with everyone and be like, you know what, I found this awesome sale and I love this product and you need to get it too. So think of it as that way instead of trying to like sell someone something to get your Success Club points. Because trust me, people can feel that, like, oh, you're just pushing for points, especially at the end of the month. So I've really made it a goal of mine to like try to hit Success Club before the 15th, because then you don't have that looming over your head and where you're like crunching, tonight on the last day of the month, like, oh my goodness, you need to buy this for me right now, today, don't wait till tomorrow. And people get it. It's the end of the month. You're trying to, reach your quota. You're trying to reach your goals that you have for yourself. So I really think that, just sharing from the heart and how it's changed, and people will know. That's why live videos, I love them, is that, I can type out a post and it may come across as a great post to someone, or when things are typed out, people can, they don't really know your passion behind it. But when you do live videos, they can hear it in your voice. They can see it in your face. They can see how excited you are and how much it has changed you. Yes, it took me a long time to get to that spot where I was like, I felt comfortable to do live videos the way I do now. But trust me, people are watching your videos. They are watching your page. They're watching you. They want to know, like, is this for real? Are you going to stick it out? I think a lot of people did that with me. It's been over 2 years now since I've been doing this, with my workouts. And then it's been 12 months since I've been full force doing it as a business. But a lot of people, they're curious. They're watching from the, behind the scenes to see, is she really going to be there the long haul? Because nobody just wants to join us if we're not going to be here in a month, right? They don't want to like spill their guts about all these struggles they have if they know that we're not going to show up for them. So that kind of is about sharing your story. And like I said, I want to do that an interview with us so that we can kind of figure out what is our story. When I did it, I realized, I started with some of these struggles when I was a kid. And then when I was in high school, my mom was pregnant with me when she was, 17. And when she was pregnant with me, she weighed less than I did in high school. And she used to tell me that. Now, as a teenage girl, that really messes with your head, right? So I think that's part of my story in sharing that with other people. So we're going to be doing that, this week or next week, whatever. We'll find a partner and we'll work on that. But I wanted to kind of go over some avatars too. Let me see if I can find this other page. Because Crystal shared her avatar, so let's go over that and we can kind of see here it is. So I did a training where the social team builder training I'm in is great with all this, and it goes in huge detail. And so that is where I first did my avatar. And they do critiques in there. And so I kind of want to take what I've learned from that and kind of help you guys to know why do you need to put this on your avatar. So, okay, under struggle, she has to be comfortable in her own skin. And so I'd ask why, what has happened? Was there a point in time where people have said something, or look in the mirror, why is that important? Let's see, like helping others reach their goals. Why do you want to help other people reach their goals? Does it, make you feel better? Do you like seeing people succeed? Things like that. Like shopping. Okay, where does your person shop at? Are they a Costco shopper, a Walmart shopper, or are they like a high-end shopper, online shopper? Those things are really going to help you to narrow in on who you're speaking to, because like for me, I shop at Costco and King Super. So if I can't buy clothes from Costco, I probably usually don't buy them, honestly. Like I like to do everything in one stop. So yeah, a lot of my things come from Costco, and a lot of them are like workout clothes, but it depends. I mean, there are people that they only want like the high-end workout clothes. Well, then those are the people you're going to be targeting, right? Like I wouldn't connect with someone who's spending $100 on a pair of leggings because I like to get mine for $10 or less. It would be a different scenario. The same as like, does your person go out to eat a lot? Is that one of the things? And why do they go out to eat? Maybe they're, busy all the time and running here and there, so they need to have those options to eat out. Or maybe it's a status thing, like with coffee drinking. Do they drink coffee because they have no energy and they need that pick-me-up? Do they drink coffee because it's a status thing to have that Starbucks cup? Is it, a $5 coffee? Is it because you like that ritual? You like that morning cup every day? And you're like, why are these things on the list? So I'd go through everything that you have on here, ask why. Why is that important about your person? And so that really helped me to figure out for my person who they are, how to connect with them. Another great exercise that I've seen, I have not done this myself, but write like a story about your person. Like what is her name? Like, what does she do? Where does she go? Like kind of like a little story about them. What does she struggle with? What does she like? And then it might help to craft posts from that, because you kind of have like a paragraphs, broken down for a scenario like that. It's good that she has like single woman, because that's who she's going to identify with. The age range from 30 to 40, good on that. You don't want to go too far out. Like I have had some people come to my page that are in their 20s and I don't really connect with them. I'm like, I am a stay-at-home mom and it's going to be 40. So things that I do, things that I value are going to be different than a 20-year-old. Even if they are a stay-at-home mom, the things that they like are going to be totally different. I'm going to be like, what the heck are you even talking about? I've never heard of that, So things like that for how to figure out who you're talking about. And for me, I like to get those connections on your page. So what I like to do is, every post doesn't have to be about a struggle. Every post doesn't have to be exactly off of your avatar sheet. But when you're doing it, you want to think about like talking to that person. So for example, instead of using like the word, I've been so uncomfortable in my body. I don't like the way I look in the mirror. Here's, I've overcome that and look at me now. I've lost, 15 pounds. Someone will look at that and they'll be like, so what? What's in it for them? Really, that's what people want to know. Like, how are you going to help them? What's in it for them? So you can craft that differently and be like, you know what? Have you ever felt like this? Have you ever dreaded getting up in the morning, looking in the mirror, trying to find an outfit that would make you feel comfortable, try to hide your rolls and things like that? Because that was me. I've struggled with that for years. But by working out at home, I've been able to have the confidence to wear whatever I want, to be able to buy whatever clothes I want. So that is, using the word you in there really flips it around so that they can see themselves in your story. And that's where you're going to get that emotional connection, where they're going to be like, oh yeah, I feel like that way every morning. She does at-home workouts and be like, what workouts are you doing? And right there, that's a perfect way to talk to them. And so my advice is, don't just, I'm doing this workout. Talk to them. See, why do they want this workout? What do they like? Because the worst thing you can do is just shove someone in a workout because you like it and they won't stick with it. So get to know their dislikes and what they like, what they've tried in the past. So those connections are so important. Like, as you know, I love Body Beast, and not many women would like Body Beast. I mean, I honestly love it. I could do it every day long, and most people think I'm crazy. So get to know your people, get to know what they like and what are their goals. That's a great way too to figure out, which way should you direct them? What are their, they want to get out of debt, then great, start as a coach and a challenger. My tip is don't have someone just started as a coach, because I honestly believe that the best coaches they're the best challengers first. So I know, like, for a lot of you started as a challenger, you did that for a while, we're seeing results, and now you believe in the product. So it's easier for you to share with others what you love because it works. So let me stop sharing. So that kind of goes over, this is kind of a lot, kind of over the place tonight, but I want to think of what's the best way to help you guys to get started on knowing what to share and how to tell your story before we get into more like tracking certain things, or all the mundane things that nobody wants to do. Like, if you're not talking to people, you don't have anything to track, right? So how do you get to talk to them first? So do you have any questions for me?
No, that helps a lot.
Okay, good.
No. So I started my avatar paper, and I've got the struggles and my likes on there. How she has it listed out, it's fine. And then I just use the why I have it on there for the posts.
Yeah, so let me
Okay.
see if I can show you one of mine too. Let me see here. I think I put mine under her same post over here.
You did. Yeah.
So there was a lot of different, I mean, you can draw it up however you want.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was just easy to have it this way. Because then I had it by my desk. And so if I'm struggling with what should I talk about today, you know, what's going on in my life? So, you know, anything like I don't like doing dishes. So one day I did a post about like, which do you like, you know, less, dishes or laundry? I frankly don't like either one of them. That's why I have kids and they help out with them. Right.
Yes.
But you know, you can just think, okay, so chocolate, I love chocolate. You know, other people are going to struggle with eating chocolate the same. Just because I'm on a health and fitness journey doesn't mean that I don't eat chocolate. So share about that. Don't feel like you have to be perfect with your meals, with your workouts, because people identify more with the slip ups, with the struggles than with being perfect.
Okay.
So yeah, I kind of need to, but I think that would kind of help. Like like the different things of what your person would be. Just kind of take whatever you have on there and then how would you make it a post? Everything doesn't have to be a struggle, like I said. One thing I've been doing a lot more, like we've been talking about in the Fitpowerment group, is engagement. Engagement is huge. You can post silly photos like that one I did with the jeans and that crazy little bikini thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people are going to like and comment, or if they comment, you can message them directly from your page. And so you start that conversation, you know, be like, you can talk about the jeans or the Jiffies or whatever they're called. Those are great. Like I love using them because they're kind of like a video. So it helps your algorithm with Facebook too for being shown more and your reach gets better. So yeah, share things like that. I like to do like a quote or something motivational. Maybe share a recipe every day or every other day, whatever you want. And you can do a call to action with them. So for example, like if you're sharing a recipe, you can be like, hey, this is from my new meal plan from this new program I'm doing. And it's going to get people curious. You want people to be curious about what meal plan. You have a meal plan with your program, you know, you don't have to pay extra for it. Things like that is really going to get people to commenting or just reaching out to you and being like, what the heck are you doing, right? Or showing a few moves of your workout. Those have been doing great for me lately. And also trying to find where your peak hours are. Do you know how to find that on your page?
I haven't really looked at it a whole lot.
Okay. Let me go over here real quick.
But I don't have very many people on my page anyway, so.
Yeah.
We got like 4 people.
Let me go here. So when you're on your page, it'll kind of show your peak hours of when is the best time to post. So you go under insights.
Okay.
And then mine has changed recently, so I check it every post you want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And then here, see how it has this little curve?
Okay.
It shows you
when
are the most people on, what time.
Okay.
Mine used to be like 6 p.m. Now you can see my 6 p.m. dips down and I'm higher in the afternoon. Partly maybe it's because I do more live videos in the afternoon, but I'm also getting a lot more people from the UK on my page. And since the time zone difference, I think that may be changing that on there. So you can kind of see, you know, some people say to post in that time zone. Some people say to post, it doesn't really matter. I think just play around with it too. I've been trying to do some like an hour before the peak time and see where it is. And then since you're so busy, try to schedule them if you can, because there's that scheduler. When you go to post them, it makes it way easier. So that's what I do when I know that I won't be home. Is schedule some posts. Even if you only get 2 a day scheduled, you're still showing up and like your store is open, like Hillary and Charity keep talking about, because our page really is our store. We want people to know that we're around for them to connect with, even if you can't message them right away. A lot of times what I do is, say if they comment or message me today and I'm busy, I do it the next day when I have my allotted time.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I'm going to stop the recording here.